Philadelphia's first day of hitting got pretty physical, as the Birds' defense got the best of the Birds' offense once again, especially rookie Jihaad Campbell. Plus, more injuries are already piling up for the Birds, with 2 key guys out. Ty Robinson learns the hard way, and the cornerback battle endures yet another shakeup. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Tuesday's training camp practice was the day we've all been waiting for, as the Birds took the field in their full pads for their first full contact practice that turned into a pretty physical day, with plenty of key moments all around. And although we're now in week 2 of training camp, as Cam Jurgens said yesterday, camp really didn't start until you actually put the pads on, aka today.
I don't really count any of the practices without pads. They're fake. It's not football. 7-on-7 doesn't matter. Stop tweeting about stats or whatnot. It doesn't matter.
Although I guess technically not everybody was in pads, as the injury bug continued to make its way through training camp, with rookie Drew Mukuba out a second day in a row with that shoulder injury, along with Danny Gray and Devontae Smith. But also 2 newcomers at Zach Bonskett practice with a back contusion, but also Nolan Smith, who somehow received a concussion. I guess it happened yesterday during Monday's half-padded practice. Not sure how that happened, but not a good look. On the other hand, though, Nolan Smith out with a concussion. Don't know how this happens in a padded but not really physical practice yesterday. Hopefully it's minor. We'll see how long he's out. Either way, Vic Fangio said before practice started today that mental reps are one thing, sitting in meetings are another. Actually getting reps on the field are most important, so hopefully guys get back soon.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to pay attention to meetings to get mental reps, but there's no replacing physical reps. Meetings and mental reps are good, but the value of them compared to physical reps is night and day.
Also, one other injury to definitely keep an eye on is wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr., who went down with a leg injury during 11-on-11s today before hobbling off the field and going into the medical tent indefinitely. As of filming, right now, we have no future update, but prayers up right now for Marshall, who, by all reports so far, has had a fantastic camp and is very much battling for a wide receiver roster spot as we go forward. Now, I'm also battling to get to 100,000 subscribers, and we're already 1,500 subs away, so hit the red button, drop a like and comment, because we're giving away tickets, we're giving away signed jerseys, regular jerseys in general, tons of fun giveaways the second we hit 100K. We're getting really darn close. I think you'll agree with me on this next part that I've been very curious about the edge rusher battle behind Jalen Hurts and Nolan Smith. Philadelphia in the offseason signed Azeez Ojulari, Josh Uche, and recently Okoronkwo. All of them are competing for the number 1 spot, and yet we've heard very little about their progress so far. So today, naturally, Vic Fangio was asked about it and noted that no one technically just yet has taken the lead.
I feel good about Nolan, and Jalix is making good strides. After that, we got some heavy competition going on. And, nobody's really truly surfaced yet, good or bad. Hopefully over the course of this camp and preseason games, that will play itself out.
That was, of course, before practice today, as during 11-on-11s, right on cue, it was Josh Uche with a sack, running with the second teamers, and then also had a possible strip sack of Jalen Hurts when running with the ones. Overall, all reporters indicated a really good day for the new Agent Zero. Again, first day he's done much of anything. Let's see if he can go ahead and keep it up. Staying with guys who also had a big day, Jihaad Campbell had a fantastic day overall with the pads on. Ran with the starting linebackers, obviously with Zach Bond out. Remember yesterday, he struggled in pass coverage, didn't have a very good day, but he turned right around and probably had his best overall day of practice so far this week. I mean, he had some really great reps in the running back versus linebacker pass rushing one-on-ones, worked a handful of different moves and won all but 1 rep, according to a reporter, including a really nice spin move through contact against Montreal Johnson, followed up by an 11-on-11 rep where he sniffed out a short throw to Goddard and blew up the tight end. Of course, the starters are live tackling today, so Campbell was allowed to lay the hit. He did help Dallas Goedert up, but a great hit nonetheless. Campbell also got to Saquon Barkley on a run play, apparently stuffed that one out in the hole. As I mentioned, this was a very good day for the Birds rookie, and as long as he keeps these sort of days up, Vic Fangio said pre-practice he's going to be exactly what the Birds want him to be whenever they drafted him.
I do see him making small strides every day. Again, it may not be noticeable to the average eye, but he's making good strides, and if he can keep making those strides, I think he'll be what we had hoped he would be.
Moving over to the ever-evolving door that is the camp cornerback battle right now, and what do you know? Ringo started at cornerback today, so the 3-day streak for Adoree Jackson officially came to an end. Again, as expected, this is going to rotate off and on. But it is worth noting, Ringo, a little bit despairs the past couple of days, had some very great one-on-one sessions, according to reporters. But he did note that Adoree Jackson had a great day on Monday, and apparently is at a point in his career where he needs to show what he's got, and now's the time in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the first few days out here, he was kind of like, he didn't know he was out there. The ball wasn't going his way at all. And then yesterday he had a couple balls thrown his way, and he did very well. He had a very good day yesterday. It's too early to say what his experience is or isn't right now. He's played a good bit of ball, but I think this is the place where he's got to, show who he is and be the player, hopefully, that people have always thought he could be.
We also got a very small update on rookie Ty Robinson this week, as I know we all want to know how the Vanilla Gorilla has been looking, and apparently not so good. So he had a one-on-one opportunity versus Jordan Mailata, and it didn't go that well, getting stood up for 5 seconds and having, reporters called, a welcome to the NFL moment. There was also 0 standout plays from today as well, and so, again, he's a rookie. He's got a long way to go. And it's not a bad thing for Ty Robinson to struggle early on. I do think myself and a lot of other people overhyped him during OTAs when the pads were not on because he looks the part. He looks in great shape. He looks like he's ready to go. It's just going to take some time for him to go from, a Nebraska Cornhusker to a Philadelphia Eagle. And as Vic Fangio mentioned during his pre-practice press conference, he's in really good shape. There's just a big-time learning curve he's got to go ahead and figure out.
He's doing fine. He's competing. He's in great shape. And, probably this is his first real opportunity. And I think he's trying to do his best to take advantage of it. And, he's right there.
To Robinson's credit, though, he also spoke to the media and did mention, hey, he's a rookie, got a long way to go, and I'm still very confident he's going to eventually figure it out.
Yeah, it's eye-opening for sure. Just getting to experience what it's like to play against NFL caliber guys and, to go against the best offense in the league. I mean, offensive line, I'm definitely learning a lot through my mistakes and failures. I'm making sure to ask questions with those guys, and then, just the tempo with the guys in the group as well. I mean, it's been awesome to go out there and work, these past few days with those guys.
Other minor updates include a nice day for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, apparently a nice couple days as well, who's been in and out of the third-team reps with rookie Kyle McCord. Not a big deal here, not saying for sure he's going to win the QB3 job, but so far, now 5 practices in, DTR is beating out McCord. Obviously, preseason is going to be the determining factor for that quarterback job. The other 2 standouts today included linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who once again got overshadowed due to Jihaad Campbell being the fresh face in town, but in reality, according to reporters, Trotter has been definitely holding his own. Today, he popped Will Shipley after a run and knocked his former Clemson teammate out of bounds. Also had a pass breakup in the red zone and had a good coverage on Dallas Goedert. Don't count Trotter Jr. out of anything regarding the linebacker competition. The same should go for right guard Tyler Steen, who reportedly had a slower start to camp the first couple of days, but now with the pads on, shined, as O-line coach Jeff Stoutland noted post-practice that Steen played a ton last year, just needs to get a little more comfortable at the position, but today was a big day.
Well, he played a lot of football last year. You got to realize he played like 450-something plays. So I think that helps a player develop confidence, and he's acting that way right now. There's definitely things we've identified some things to work on. Today was a big day for Tyler Steen, in my opinion. He did some things that I've been talking to him about, and he executed them, and he did a good job.
Now, as far as the offense as a whole during 11-on-11s, reporters noted that the defense once again had the upper hand, with ESP, for instance, noting the issue with the passing game seemed to be that nobody was open, as opposed to Hurts throwing to and missing open receivers. The red zone offense was once again not super sharp. First team offense ran 6 plays inside the 20, getting a net total of 10 yards on the first 5 plays, before Hurts hit Shipley over the middle for a 10-yard touchdown. The result was a good one, but they didn't look crisp overall. In another series against the first-team defense and the first-team offense, they started at the 30 and could not get in the end zone. Twice, Hurts had to throw it away after holding onto it for too long looking for an open receiver. In the final drill of the day, the offense struggled again. Hurts completed 1 of 3 passes, with his only completion a short pass to Shipley on a play that probably was extended more than it should have been. Now, worth noting, the pressure was on Hurts' face for the majority of practices today, and a lot of plays were blown dead because the defensive line had their best overall day of training camp. And honestly, I'm going to take that as a very good sign. We're not concerned about the Eagles' offense in 2025. They have all the stars, all the weapons. They're going to figure things out. New OC, new quarterback coach, first day in pads. I mean, come on, give them a break here. The good news for me, at least from that note there, is the fact that the secondary, much improved. They've been great the past 2 days, and the defensive line is getting pressure on the Eagles' offensive line. Again, apples to oranges. One guy's good, one guy's bad. We take it all with a grain of salt. But I do think back-to-back good defensive days is a good sign for the Birds overall. And I'll also give Hurts credit here because he took what the defense gave him all day long and checked the ball down and stayed interception-free, which is good quarterbacking here. Don't turn the ball over, and Philadelphia's going to win a lot of games. And he also, post-practice, tipped his hat to the defense and did mention they had a solid day against the O.
Yeah, overall, I think, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And, these last 2 days have been very challenging from a heat standpoint, and so everybody collectively as a group just continue to push through those things. Control what you can. I think this is a good test and a measure of where we are right now and where we desire to go. So, ran the ball well. Defense played very well. Connected on some in the past game and got a finish on some. Ultimately, it's just great competition, and that's what it's about in training camp. You talk about building that foundation for a team and establishing the right temperament of a team, and we're coming out here and competing every day and getting good competition, good work.
And that's really how training camp goes. It's a day-to-day process. And I remember being at Carolina Panthers training camp back when I was interning in Charlotte, way back in college, my first time ever being in NFL training camp. And I asked one of the Panther defensive line, I think he was a coach overall, would you rather see the defense win early on or the offense win early on? And he always said the defense needs to win early and the offense needs to win late because offense harder than defense, and so the offense has to figure things out. So that was just one person's opinion, but he did work in the NFL. I've always stuck with that, saying defense needs to win early and then the offense can figure things out. And so when all the question marks are edge rushers other than Hunt and Nolan Smith, defensive line, linebacker group, secondary, that's where the questions are, and they're playing well so far. I take that as a huge thumbs up for the Birds, and I'm really not worried at all about the Eagles' offense, especially since Jalen Hurts not turning the football over, really besides the Quinyon pick yesterday, and by all reports has been very, very decisive so far when he's had opportunities, which so far have been few and far between. Either way, next couple of days are going to be interesting here. Wednesday, no practice. Thursday, they're back. We'll have an update on Thursday. They're going to practice Thursday, Friday, off Saturday, then Sunday and Monday, and so obviously we're going to break down everything happening with the Birds. This is your one-stop shop for your quickest, briefest, here's what happened in training camp today. That's my goal to you. Appreciate you guys, and we get pretty darn close to 100K subs. Hopefully, we can do this giveaway sooner rather than later. Thomas Mott hanging out here on a Tuesday. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.